Hello and welcome back to the November 13th edition of Huskies Weekend Recap. I'm your host, Alexis Pearson.
Jimmy Butler wants out of Minnesota. That's obvious. It seems there's zero interest in him returning this season anytime soon. Where do you guys think Jimmy Butler fits best, and what does this mean for the Wolves having a guy like this off the team?
Let's turn back the clock to last March when the Husky wrestling team took home their third national title in 4 years. This national title coming off a perfect 19-0 season where they sent a wrestler to nationals for all 10 weight classes. And on Saturday, they were busy again trying to get that early lead, and they would do it again less than 2 minutes into the first with a defensive turnover in the Maverick zone. Blake Lazat capitalizes, goes blocker side for the 1-0 tally. Both the men's and women's basketball teams were in Duluth this weekend to take on the University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. After the first half, the Huskies would trail by 6 points and would not be able to mount a comeback, losing 91-81.
And now, like we said, you guys have played together for a while, a lot of the ladies on this team. It's just your first season in the NWHL. Talk about kind of this experience and being a part of this historic moment in Minnesota sports history.
I'll give you one guess as to who scored the winner in overtime. If you guessed Hannah Marion, you'd be right. Huskies take this one 1-0. And the Huskies have won 4 of their last 5 games, and a player to look out for is Gage Davis, who will be nearing the 2,000 point marker of his career. Now we'll move on to some of my favorite stuff, the hockey stuff. So how good are the Sabres actually? They've won 10 straight. They're playing tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. You were selected last week to be part of the U.S. developmental team. So talk to me a little bit about that experience and kind of what can you take from it?
In studio now is Alexis Pearson to give us more on the sports take. Alexis, what's happening?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on in the sports world in Minnesota. Buckle your seatbelts because it's finally hockey season. The men's and women's swim and dive teams competed at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire this weekend, with both teams coming home with first place finishes. The Huskies also tallied 27 first place finishes in individual matchups.
Now here come the Warriors with an opportunity and a shot and goal! Right at the end of the power play. The Warriors get on the board first with a nifty backhand up and over Norman's shoulders.
But luckily for the Husky football team, they're doing well. We'll get to that in a little bit. First, let's get right into hockey. And after suffering their first loss of the season last Saturday, the men's hockey team found themselves in the win column once again against Colorado College. She's a pretty good athlete, and earlier in the show when we interviewed her teammate Emma Paluzny, I asked her, who's one person we need to watch out for this season? And I told her it was probably going to be a hard choice, and she told me Laura was the one to look out for. She said she's also her roommate, so if we're noticing that she's pretty good, her teammates are noticing she's pretty good, I'm going to say she's probably pretty good. The Huskies had an even better showing on Saturday, completing the sweep by a score of 6-2. Robbie Jackson put 2 pucks in the back of the net, while Patrick Newell tallied another goal, his third on the weekend.
Let's move on to a hot topic everybody's talking about. Tiger Woods wins for the first time in 5 years. So guys, one more time for old time's sake, is Tiger back?
The Gophers leading 3-2. Huskies looking to tie. Janina Nyland to Hannah Patrikas late in the third gets the tying goal. The game would go to overtime. Now, despite their struggles this season, it's no surprise that the ever-dangerous Erik Karlsson caused the Wild some problems in their last meeting as he tallied 2 goals on the night.
That was just a melee in front of the net. I don't think Fitzgerald saw where that puck went. I think people were just kind of swinging sticks, hoping to get it on something, and Hannah Brandt did. Minnesota girl gets the second goal of the game for the Whitecaps.
So one more topic on football here before we move on to different sports. There's been plenty of electric rookies in the NFL so far this season. 4 new starting quarterbacks. Saquon Barkley is filling his role very well as an electric NFL running back.
2 different Huskies would find the back of the net in the first, with Mallory Mollenhauer scoring on a header off a corner kick to get the Huskies on the board first. Maria Woody would later add to that tally off a penalty kick to give her team a 2-goal lead. The Huskies would look to keep the momentum going against number 5 ranked Northern State. The Huskies would have no such luck, however, losing in 3 sets. Lindsay Rachel led the team in kills and digs with 13 and 15 respectively. The Vikings and the Packers game, an NFL game that got all the locals worked up. The first border battle of the 2018-2019 season between Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers caused quite the ruckus in the football world yesterday.
Blake Tyson with the epic comeback. He didn't get any points in the first round and then comes out of nowhere and sweeps it out here.
But those high shots for goaltenders are very hard to save, very hard to manage, because it's a tough, quick decision you need to make as far as, are you going to let it hit you in the chest, or is it going to hit you in the face mask? Are you going to try to get a glove up? There's a lot of decisions that need to be made in a split second.
Wow, that was pretty. Can I get a replay of that, please? My God, that was just a perfect pass. She was ready for it and sniped it home before anybody could get in front of it. We'll take another look at this one here. Brandt comes out of the corner. Quick pass to the slot. That's the second goal the Whitecaps have scored from that same spot.
And with that, we'll move on to the NBA. We'll hit the hardwood here, as this year's draft class is one of the most deep we've seen in years, with depth, as many lottery picks and even a couple out of the lottery are exceeding expectations.
All right, well, that's all we got for you here tonight. Chris Pearson, two-time champion. Maybe he'll do it again next week. Find out. Same time, same place. We'll see you next week.